Welcome to Finally Got Around To. This is your destination for indie games, indie video games, tabletop games, all that good stuff. Today, I have a lot of interesting information for you. I just got back from my first ever PAX West, which was also my first ever PAX of all time. There was so much cool stuff to see at this event. I couldn't believe how many games were there and how little time I had, even though it was a 4-day weekend, to see everything. I still wasn't able to see everything that I wanted to see. But there was one thing that really surprised me and impressed me about this year's PAX, and it was how many amazing 2D platformers I was able to find. Now, it's hard to put together a list of like what are my actual, top 10 or top 5 favorite games that I saw at this year's PAX, but some of these games are definitely going to be up there if I really had to get down to it. And speaking of, the first game I want to talk about is a game called TetherGeist. This is made by O & Co Games. That's the letter O ampersand Co, like company games. This is a really fascinating game, and what immediately caught my eye was the pixel art style, which is really executed flawlessly between the character sprites and the background environments, the platforming areas itself. But then I actually got to start playing the game. There is currently a playtest available on Steam, so you can go check that out, add it to your wish list, and sign up for the playtest, which hopefully you'll be able to get into, because they did just release an update, I think just like as PAX was going on or just post PAX. So I'm going to get back into it and check out more of it. But as you can see through the video here, the kind of the core mechanic of TetherGeist is that you have this little spirit, a little ghost that you can kind of extend from yourself and then teleport to its position in the world. So this kind of helps you navigate around barriers, up high walls, and stuff like that. And it was really fun, really satisfying, and really challenging to kind of get the hang of it and get it all down. And then, as you play through, the challenges become more and more difficult, more and more precision is required, more and more reflexes are required. This is definitely one of my favorites, and I'm definitely going to be talking more about this game, especially once I play more of the playtest, and maybe even making its own video. So next I want to talk about another 2D platformer. This one's called Croak. It stars this lovable little frog king, and it's made by Woodrunner Games. Obviously the animation really caught my eye, but the unique mechanic of this game is the little frog tongue that you saw in these clips here, but you kind of are able to, you jump around, move around, but the tongue kind of allows you to, like, either you can do a small jump up over a ledge with the tongue, or you can kind of bounce yourself off and go a long distance, or you can bounce up like let me see if they show it. There's a way you can kind of bounce, like that, bounce back and forth up. I want to say like a hallway, but it's like a vertical hallway. Maybe there's a term for that. But there's also boss fights. There's also stuff like that. So it's a very, very fun and challenging game. They had a speedrun challenge going on where everybody that they had like a leaderboard, and people get t-shirts if they did well. I wasn't quite as that good, but I was kind of interested in the challenge. Now, I did talk to the developers, and they mentioned that the background artist, I think it was, for all the backgrounds, also worked on Rick and Morty. And if you can't already tell, the character sprites are also very expressive, very emotive. I was very impressed by how, with no dialogue, basically you can still, there's some dialogue, as you can see, but even in the moments of no dialogue, it's still very easy to tell what the character's intents and emotions are in that moment. Very much looking forward to this game by Croak. Check it out on Steam. I don't think there's any demos out to the public yet, but I'm hoping there will be one soon, and I'll let you know. Next, I want to talk about a game called Love Eternal. This is by, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce the developer's name. It's BRLKA, I think. So maybe it's Berlka. Yeah, as you can see right there. Published by another publisher that I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce. YSBRYD Games, or Yisbrid Games. This is another kind of pixel graphic style that is very effective, very well executed. But what potentially makes this one stand out from some of the other 2D platformers I'm talking about today is that it has a lot of horror and psychological horror elements that can get pretty creepy, pretty freaky. So you might be able to get some sense of that as you're looking at it now. But one thing that really struck me early on in the demo was the use of negative space. So early on, the main character is kind of walking through hallways in their home, walking around the building, walking around to different rooms. And this only takes up maybe about 1/4, maybe 1/5 of the screen space, and it's in the center of the screen. So it's all surrounded by just darkness. And it really does a good job of kind of setting that eerie tone, that eerie feeling. As you can see, it definitely gets more and more intense as it goes on. I didn't get to go this far in the demo. The demo only was about 20 minutes or so, and it's just the beginning of the game, but there is a lot of crazy stuff. So I did talk to the developer of this game, who said that a lot of the inspiration for the style and the tone came from movies and TV shows. Specifically, Twin Peaks is one that I remembered thinking of myself, and then the developer also mentioned, and then there was some other films, movies that I can't remember at the moment, but was definitely apparent. I know this is a slightly longer trailer, but I'm just going to skip ahead to the part where you actually see some of the platforming gameplay, which I think is right about here-ish. But kind of the main mechanic of this is that it's very much a precision platformer, but the main mechanic is you can flip the gravity, essentially, of the map. So you have to kind of figure out how to progress. Like this, you have to like jump and then flip and then flip, and every time you hit one of those little red dots, you get another ability to flip. And it felt very good. The feeling of it in your hands when you're using the controller felt great. The sound of it was also really great. And yeah, this is one I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes on. If there's ever a free demo out on Steam or anything like that, I will definitely let you know, because more people need to play this game. I'm very excited for it. So yeah, that's that, and now we'll move on to, this is one game that I have talked about a few times on this channel, on my site already, but it was there again at this year's PAX, and it's one of the most fun, one of the most unique 2D platformers that I have come across in the last couple of years. This is being made by May Gardens and Red Nexus Games. I actually did get to meet the developers this time, which was pretty cool. But yeah, this is a really fun game. It has a free demo on Steam. I recommend you go check it out if you get the chance. Basically, the idea is that you are playing as a little egg that is trying to escape, and your jump, you can't control the length of your jump. Every time you jump, it's going to be the same distance, and that distance, if you fall from that height, is enough to crack you. So basically, every time you jump, you need to be able to you need to know where you're going to land so that you don't crack and break yourself. And it makes it into a very fast-paced, puzzly game that quickly becomes really challenging, and there's a lot of fun mechanics that you can, or fun puzzles and stuff like that you quickly discover. So yeah, those are the 2D platformers that I saw this weekend at PAX West, and man, are they fun. And I never really thought of myself as someone who's super into 2D platformers, but I don't know, PAX West really changed me, and I am not unhappy about that. So thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to get more awesome indie game coverage, recommendations, and whatnot. And if you liked the video, hit a like. But until next time, I'll see you then. Goodbye.